former consular officer, started this organization called Argo, and it just popped in my head when we were starting is, what is Argo about? I know there was a movie Argo. Is that in relation to that, or because that was sort of consular to Canadian consular, I guess?
Yeah, well, maybe people always ask me that. And actually, I think it is about the US government and consular officers. So it is very similar. I remember when I watched that movie, I was horrified at how scary it was because I could just imagine myself being one of those consular officers as people are climbing over the fence and you're trying to like burn, confidential information and classified documents. So it is not based on the movie. I think the idea of Argo came about because it's like this mythical ship in Greek history or mythology that carries people from one land to the other. And it's sort of a symbol for what we're trying to do with Argo, helping international visa applicants who are applying for their US visas, carrying them safely over to the US. And I think our goals are very similar to most US immigration attorneys who are doing the same kind of work.
That's neat. I didn't know about where that word comes from. I heard it a million times, but it's interesting. It really does match immigration. I guess the ancient Greek history, they had immigration avenues like that too. So
Exactly.
in mythology, that is. So you have this organization you started. It's been a couple of years now. How big is it now? How many former consular officers do you have, and how many languages?
Yeah. So currently we have 25 former consular officers. They have worked at US embassies and consulates all around the world, all had careers with the US State Department, and we speak 14 different languages. We most recently recruited the former non-immigrant visa chief from the US Embassy in New Delhi. He also worked.
It's almost
Yeah,
like the NBA draft or NFL draft. Like that's a good one to get. Yeah, first round
that
pick.
really feels like it. Yeah, and he also previously worked at the US Embassy in Ankara and is a Farsi speaker, so very helpful for Iranian, applicants.
Yeah.
And so definitely feel like we hit the jackpot with him. And so I think the great thing about Argo is that we are a collective source of knowledge for consular processing and consular information. And, we're all connected on Slack, and we have conversations all the time about these interesting situations that we come across during our consultations and speak about our experiences. And so while we don't have a former consular officer for every country in the world, I think that's the goal in the future. We do have them for, all of the major countries that U.S. immigration attorneys have to deal with, from India to China to Brazil to Canada to Mexico, Guatemala, France, the UK. And so our collective expertise as subject matter experts on this very important part of immigration law makes us uniquely suited to really work with immigration attorneys and help support you in your practices.
Well, I'm really excited because now I have a new guest we're going to have on, this new consular officer with the former section chief of Delhi. Definitely, I'd love to have them on to talk with them.